Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another Pokemon Sword and Shield moveset video guide on how to use Greedent. There has been this one person asking me to do this, I think for 14 days straight now, so I'm caving. You're gonna get Greedent today, buddy. Hopefully I help you out and you don't walk away disappointed. I feel like if you committed to this mon, you're not gonna be disappointed. But if you came into this with an open mind and didn't know anything about Greedent, you might be a little bit disappointed, okay? Anyway, Greedent is a squirrel. That did not help you at all. It's a normal type, right? It has base 120 HP, so a really thick HP stat. Base 95 attack and defense, which are both really good when you couple that with its base 120 HP, specifically the defense one, so it could actually tank some hits. Base 75 special defense, and then base 20 speed. So at first sight, it just looks to be sort of a tank, right? Decent attack, decent defenses, strong HP, and then that really slow speed. But Greedent does have a few little tricks up its sleeve. One of the big things is it does have the ability Cheek Pouch, which is when it eats a berry, it restores 1/3 of its max HP after the berry's effect. And that actually comes into play in the first set we'll be talking about, which is a Belly Drum Greedent set. Now, if you guys don't know what Belly Drum does, basically, when you go for it, it cuts your HP in half, and it maximizes your attacks. You get +6 attack. So you use 50% of your maximum HP, and you get +6 attack because of it. And this is pretty cool with a Citrus Berry and Cheek Pouch, because after Greedent goes for Belly Drum, it eats a Citrus Berry, and then it gets the Cheek Pouch ability, and it's back at 100%. So that's really sick for a Pokemon like Greedent that can actually abuse this decently well. So the first set, believe it or not, is actually for OU. And we'll be talking a little bit about other sets as well going on. But the first set is a Belly Drum sweeping set, and I specifically made it for OU, right? So maximizing the attack, we have 148 speed, which lets us outspeed a Pokemon like Toxapex in the OU tier, and then even Toxapex that are creeping other Toxapex. So I just basically had 113 speed at level 100 because Toxapex is usually running around 106, 108, and then sometimes they run up to 112 depending. So I wanted to run a little bit more than that, but the moveset we have is Body Slam, Earthquake, Fire Fang, and Belly Drum. Fire Fang is there for Corviknight and Ferrothorn. Again, I'm trying to use this thing in OU. I'm actually going to try and use it later today in the OU tier 2, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Earthquake gives you coverage versus Steel and Rock types, which would otherwise resist your stab Body Slam, and then Body Slam is your strongest move coming out. I think the really cool thing about this thing is that after it Belly Drums up, like I said, it gets back to full HP. So if you can bring this thing in on like weaker Pokemon, I would say, like Ferrothorn for instance, you can Belly Drum up on that thing and knock it out with a +6 Fire Fang. Maybe a Toxapex going for Recover and not Toxic or Scald. I guess a Lumberry could technically work on this Pokemon too, if you're fearing status as well. So you can use either Citrus Berry or Lumberry on Greedent itself. But I like Citrus just because I like the idea of getting back to full HP after that. But yeah, it's decently strong at +6 attack. It's just that its biggest thing is it's incredibly slow. So I would use it specifically to break through those fat cores of Toxapex, Ferrothorn, Corviknight, because you're able to eat hits from all of them and you knock them out with either Fire Fang or Earthquake respectively. It's just really bulky just because of its base HP, so it can tank a hit if necessary. In terms of support, you're going to need a lot of it. You're definitely going to need a lot of it. If you're playing in OU, you definitely want something for Ditto, which can just come in and copy you and take it back. Darmanitan, you want to switch into that, like a Rotom or your own Toxapex, even to absorb Toxic Spikes and help take hits, really. I think a Ghost type as well, like Dragapult, is pretty cool as a partner. One, it's good for when Ditto copies you and gets your +6, because if it goes for Body Slam, I obviously can't touch Dragapult from there. And two, Dragapult is just a wall breaker of sorts alongside with Greedent, right? Or a special breaker rather, and it appreciates Greedent breaking through like Toxapex, Ferrothorn, so if it's specs, you can just click Shadow Ball or anything like that. The next set we have is kind of a throwback to an old school Snorlax set, but it's basically an Amnesia, Rest, Body Slam, Stuffed Cheeks set. Now, if you guys didn't know, Stuffed Cheeks is a new move that when you consume your berry, you raise the user's defense by 2, so you get +2 defense. So that's pretty cool. It's basically like an iron defense after you eat your berry. And Stuffed Cheeks actually forces you to eat the berry as well. So that's really nice when coupled with a Lychee Berry, because typically if you had a Lychee Berry, you would have to be at 1/4 your maximum HP or lower in order to get the effects of Lychee Berry, which is +1 attack. But if you use Stuffed Cheeks, you immediately get +2 defense, you immediately get your +1 attack from Lychee Berry, and you even get your Cheek Pouch, which heals 1/3 of your maximum HP. So you're healing yourself and you're boosting your attack and defense in one. So this is kind of like a makeshift Snorlax set that used to be ran like back in the day. But the idea is to just go all in with Greedent, man. Amnesia, Rest, Body Slam, and Stuffed Cheeks. You boost your special defense, and this set is gimmicky, but I wanted to do something that could work with Stuffed Cheeks, and I felt like this was one of the better things that could potentially even give Greedent a chance of sweeping while using Stuffed Cheeks. But you maximize your attack and you maximize your HP because you ain't going anywhere, right? So you want to have the maximum damage output, and obviously having a Lychee Berry gives you the attack of having a Choice Band, basically, with the ability to switch up moves. So maximize that HP, maximize that attack. Amnesia is there to boost your special defense. That way you can stay in on special attackers. You get +2 special defense by using it. You're not really able to boost your defense anymore, but +2 defense is still really good coming off of 444 maximum HP. Rest is for longevity, for status, so that way you can survive throughout it. And then again, Body Slam is your form of offense, your form of attack. Now if you're using this set, clearly it has issues, right? First off, is a Greedent, so it doesn't really have a lot. On this set specifically, it can't really deal with Steel, it can't really deal with Rock, it can't really deal with Ghost types. So Dark types are great partners with it. Ground types are great partners too because they deal with the aforementioned Steel as well as Rock types. So I could see something like Greedent plus Excadrill and Tyranitar if you're using it in higher tiers. If you're using it in lower tiers, Drapion can be a good partner. Also getting up Toxic Spikes, allowing you to stall out Ghost types like potentially Jellicent. Though I wouldn't try and play versus a Jellicent since they do have Shrimp Sap now and it'd just be taking your attack turn per turn. But Toxic Spikes can be good for wearing that thing down as well. And again, Dark types like potentially Bisharp can work if you're using it in higher tiers too. Hydreigon as well. Just for those Pokemon that can deal with those Ghost types, allowing Greedent to potentially have a chance of winning. I do think Toxic Spikes though are very, very solid partners for this. So some good Toxic Spikers. Obviously, if you're playing in higher tiers, Toxic Spikes is a great Toxic Spiker. Drapion in lower tiers. And as well as Rapid Spin support. So Colossal, Claydol, Cloyster, if you're playing it in lower tiers, can all help out. Or even Spike support too, to help this thing actually do some damage. You'll have +1 attack, but base 95 and 1.5 isn't too much. Watch out for Ghost types like Gengar as well, because otherwise they'll just set up nasty plots in front of you or just spam Sludge Wave until you eventually die. However, if they're Life Orb and they're not nasty plot, this is the thing to keep in mind. If they're Life Orb and they're not nasty plot, you can actually stall it out by going for multiple amnesias and just resting, letting their Life Orb slowly but surely beat them down turn per turn. Como is also a pretty good partner too. It's a fighting type that doesn't really care too much about some Ghost types, for example, like the Blade if you're playing it in lower tiers, just because you have Flamethrower or whatnot. And I really like Obstagoon as well as Sirfetch. Sirfetch is scrappy, so it can go for Choice Band, close combats on Ghost types, but also hit super effectively the Steel and the Rock types. The next set we have is a Choice Band Greedent set, maybe if you want to use this thing on Trick Room, for instance, and abusing its base 95 attack and low speed. If you're using Brave Nature with 0 speed IVs, you actually end up with 40 speed at level 100, so you're slower than most Trick Room users. And Body Slam, Earthquake, Wild Charge, and Crunch. Crunch gives you coverage versus those Ghost types, whereas Wild Charge can give you coverage versus Bulky Waters, and in general can knock out something like Mantine, for instance. Earthquake is your coverage for those Rock and Steel types, Fire types too. And then we do have Body Slam as our main option. You can also put Facade on this if you want to as well. Facade, if you're burnt, obviously it's going to weaken Earthquake, Wild Charge, and Crunch's damage, but if you have Facade, it doesn't get weakened and it becomes Stab and becomes 140 base power. It is Stab, it has 140 base power and gets even stronger as well after Stab, so it can be a pretty cool move that Greedent can run potentially on a Trick Room-ish team. The next set is Swords Dance Greedent. Greedent does have access to Swords Dance, and by using max attack, max speed, 4 HP, you can actually outspeed something like Rhyperior as well as the Blade in lower tiers. So we have a Lumberry here, that way you don't have to worry too much about status. Again, Lumberry can be something that can be ran on the Belly Drum set as well, which I mentioned earlier. But Swords Dance, Body Slam, Earthquake, and either Crunch or Seed Bomb, I think, as the last move. One of the main reasons I like Seed Bomb is because you are faster than both Gastrodon and a Min Speed Rhyperior, so after Swords Dance you can threaten those with a Seed Bomb. Crunch just gives you access to hitting Ghost types, but a Ghost type for like Jellicent, for instance, will outspeed you anyway and just Shrimp Sap through you, so it's not necessary. Whereas Seed Bomb still hits that thing for super effective damage. Crunch just hits Pokemon like the Blade better, but even then, like, I think Seed Bomb is a little bit better just because Earthquake will hit the Blade even stronger while still hitting Steel types, while still hitting... Seed Bomb will also hit, like, Renerigus, I think that's how you say its name. I keep, like, mispronouncing its name, but... Seed Bomb can still hit that thing for super effective damage too. So I think Seed Bomb is superior to Crunch personally, and I just think that Body Slam and Earthquake is there. And we're running maximum speed, which isn't that much. You only hit 139 speed at level 100, but it does allow Greedent to outspeed like Min Speed Rhyperiors and Min Speed... and speedy the Blades as well. But yeah, the last set, and I'm actually putting today a VGC set. Shout out to my boy A-Drive for allowing me to use his footage. But Greedent having access to Belly Drum and having slow speed means that it can be used as a Trick Room Sweeper in VGC, especially when it has support. So the set we have right here, keep in mind this is at level 50, guys. I wouldn't use this in level 100 and any other type of battle, but it's level 50. We're running Citrus Berry plus Cheek Pouch, which is what we've seen before with Belly Drum. 244 HP means that after we Belly Drum, we're at 50%, so we get both our Citrus Berry and our Cheek Pouch. And we have Facade, Stomping Tantrum, or Protect. Stomping Tantrum is there because we don't want to use Earthquake when we're +6. We don't want to hit our partner Pokemon with Earthquake, so Stomping Tantrum gives us a nice way of hitting opposing Steel, Rock types, and even Ghost types as well. Facade is good because it's still very strong at +6, but also if we get burnt or paralyzed or poisoned, we're still dealing out massive damage with +6 Facade. Protect is there, that way we can have a partner that can set up Trick Room with us. And yeah, the idea is to get in Greedent and try and Belly Drum under Trick Room to sweep. I think a good partner is Oranguru. I've been seeing A-Drive use it specifically, and he's been using like Trick Room, Psychic Foul Play with a Wiki Berry, and he's been using Symbiosis as the ability. And what Symbiosis does is basically after an ally has used its item, Oranguru would immediately give Greedent the Wiki Berry, and that can be pretty cool too, because after you're Belly Drumming, like I said, Greedent gets back up to full HP because of the Citrus and the Cheek Pouch. So being able to do that again with a Wiki Berry after taking damage is super cool. Not necessarily full HP, but when you're lower, because obviously the Wiki Berry will activate lower. But anyway, potentially using Greedent as a Trick Room Sweeper in the VGC tier. I don't play a lot of VGC yet. Might be starting really soon, who knows. But yeah, I just wanted to throw in this set because I saw A-Drive using it and I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm going to be attempting to use Greedent later today in the OU tier, so stay tuned for that. I hope my dude who has been asking for Greedent every day was not disappointed. If you were, I'm so sorry. I did what I could with this, man. I really did. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.